I'm Greg Jarrett. You were in the strategy room, and then there was one. Donald Trump effectively locking up the Republican nomination after a decisive win in Indiana, prompting GOP rivals Ted Cruz and John Kasich to leave the race. Well, now speculation is swirling over who the businessman will tap not only as his running mate, but also as potential cabinet members. Joining me now to talk about it are Media News Bureau Chief and Fox News contributor Ellen Ratner and Republican strategist Adam Goodman. Good to see you both. Adam, let me start with you on the Republican side. I mean, there are reports that people like Jeb Bush, Scott Walker, Senator Jeff Flake would never agree to be Trump's running mate. And it's hard to envision little Marco Rubio because, I mean, that was the moniker, the insulting tag that Trump placed on Rubio for so long. So is it going to be harder for Trump to find a running mate?
Oh, I don't think so. You've already seen, Greg, how quickly the Republicans are starting to line up behind their presumptive nominee. And here are the rules of thumb in terms of a vice presidential pick. We probably should put that out front first. And rule 1 through 10 is do no harm. And all I can say is cue Sarah Palin on that. But beyond that, you look at considerations of demographics, age, race, gender. You talk about geography, key swing states perhaps like Florida, Ohio. Then you look at ideology. Who can check an ideology card? And maybe even finally the word persona. Who can actually add a personality to the ticket that could really bring something on that front, on all those fronts? I think Donald Trump has got a tremendous range of choices. You could look at people like Marco Rubio that you referenced in the opener. I think, politics is what it is. I think they've gotten over the campaign.
Yeah, but that was mean and ugly, the little Marco thing and all the other corresponding ridiculing and demeaning remarks.
I think if they're not asking my advice, but if they were asking my advice, I would tell the Trump team that go with a strength, someone that really complements your ticket. I think maybe, just maybe, this will be a different kind of pick, which is not going to be an inside Washington pick, and maybe another outsider who's got some kind of qualified or relevant experience.
Yeah, but he said he wants somebody who's got experience. Ellen, let me turn to you. 73% of women across America have an unfavorable opinion of Donald Trump. So logically, to try to counter that, he might try to pick a woman, but who? I mean, Governor Nikki Haley of South Carolina, Susana Martinez of New Mexico. They both made it pretty clear they don't want much to do with Donald Trump.
Well, people can make it clear one day and make it unclear the next day. So that's number one. Number two, he may pick a woman, but he may go with so goes Ohio, so goes the nation, which is where I'm from, and may go with Governor Kasich. And he has said that he wants to pick somebody who has congressional experience, who knows how to move Congress. That would definitely be Governor Kasich.
Yeah. Adam, what about Newt Gingrich? His name is being bandied about. He certainly has legislative experience as former Speaker of the House. But then you've got two older white guys on the ticket.
I think in terms of experience, since you referenced that, I mean, Gingrich would be an awesome choice. But you're right. I think he probably needs to bring more to the ticket. I'd like to add another name. John Kasich, who Ellen just mentioned, certainly should be high on that list. Right. There's another name in another key swing state, as if not more important than Ohio, which is the state of Florida, which is where I'm from. Right. And I think that name would be Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi was an early endorser of Trump.
Attorney General.
She's the Attorney General in her second term, an 18-year prosecutor. She's an outsider who became an insider, and she has a good, strong relationship already with the candidate. I think she is going to be.
But no legislative experience, and he kind of said he wanted somebody with that.
Well, I think, you can always bring onto your team, including your chief of staff, Greg, someone who's been a member of Congress, a member of the Senate. But I think he's looking for someone that brings something to his ticket that does not go against the narrative he's been selling for the last 6 months. And I think people like Pam would fit the bill.
Ellen, what about Chris Christie, the New Jersey governor who is frequently referred to as Trump's sycophant? But look, he's from neighboring New Jersey, and Trump already, has got New York covered, and arguably New Jersey. He doesn't really need Christie, although Christie is viewed as a pretty good attack dog.
He is as an attack dog, but You know, one of the things that when you run for president is you want to get some geographical diversity as well as perhaps women or whatever. Christie does not provide geographical diversity, and that's why I'm suggesting that he's probably going to be out as the VP candidate. Florida, Ohio, even California may be in the running, and of course Susana Martinez from New Mexico.
Ellen, last question. I want to be fair in the time I've given you both, but Robert Gates' name is out there as well, and for those who are deeply concerned that Donald Trump doesn't have the temperament to have the nuclear codes, that he's too impetuous, too reckless, a very even-tempered Robert Gates, who, by the way, served both Democrat and Republican presidents, might ease their fears of voters.
Might ease their fears, and that is a possibility. I tend to think that most Americans aren't going to care so much about the nuclear issue as much as they are right now about the economic issue. Fox's own exit polls show that people are very concerned about the economy.
All right. Ellen Ratner, Adam Goodman, good to see you both. Thank you.
Thank you.
For complete coverage of the 2016 election, go to foxnews.com. I'm Greg Jarrett. Thanks for watching.